Welcome back, folks, to a brand new video.
Europe is often considered a fairly expensive continent to travel. And when you add in a new variant called Omicron, or Amazon, or Louis Vuitton, or even bloody Megatron, there are still plenty of more affordable destinations in Europe. So here are 10 of the cheapest countries to visit in Europe for 2022.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Before we start, here's a disclaimer. If you are from one of these countries, obviously it's not going to be super affordable to you. So this is mainly for those tourists out there visiting.
Number 1. Montenegro. If you have a passion for nature, Montenegro is one of the best places to live in Europe. It has an amazing, beautiful seaside, but an equally stunning mountainous countryside. Montenegro is currently a very, very popular European summer destination, only a 2-hour flight from countries like Germany, Switzerland, or even Italy. Even if it is a prime location and stunning views, Montenegro remains rather affordable to tourists. But remember one thing, from June to the end of September, prices for rent always skyrocket. Just for the high season alone, you may end up paying the same amount of money as you would pay for the entire low season. You could do well with roughly 700 to 800 euros per month, and this is covering all of Montenegro, for rent, food, entertainment and healthcare. I found a 3-bedroom for 564 euros. Now that is a bargain. But it's one to watch because I believe it will increase over the years.
Number 2. Bulgaria. Just like Montenegro, Bulgaria is a perfect combination of an alluring seaside and beautiful mountains in the countryside. It's a full member of the European Union and has improved a lot in recent years. Surprisingly, this Balkan country is one of the most underrated countries in Europe, whether for living or for tourism. 2011, all I could say is sunny beach. Room rent in Bulgaria is very cheap. You can easily find a 1-bedroom studio at roughly 300 euros. Like rents, food prices and utility bills in Bulgaria are the lowest in the entire European Union. Transport in most Bulgarian cities is very easy and cheap to get from one place to another. You could do well with a monthly budget of at least 850 or less euros a month.
Number 3. Ukraine. A fascinating and vibrant country. Now I remember visiting Odessa, and let me tell you, you must try the fish. The country has fantastic churches, beautiful architecture, fairy tale castles, and obviously the magnificent Black Sea coastline. Now Ukraine has enough reasons to exceed your expectations. The capital city alone is certainly not the cheapest place to live in Europe, however it won't break the bank. So if you plan to spend the rest of your life in Ukraine or just to visit, you can easily live comfortably with just over £1,000 per month. It's really worth it. Number 4. Romania. Another underrated European country that I will definitely make a video very soon. It's quite cheap to live by, especially by the standards of the regions in Romania. This country offers delicious foods, a pretty affordable cost of living, and a surreal natural beauty. Now Romania is a small European country, but it has a lot to offer. Despite its reputations from the jaw-dropping views of Transylvania and the remarkable UNESCO heritage sites scattered around, the living cost in Bucharest is more or less the same as the Ukraine capital city. So the suggested average monthly budget to live by, or to live comfortably, is again roughly just over €1,000. Number 5. Macedonia. Another cheap country to live in or visit in Europe. Now I have chosen this above Georgia for this reason alone. It's surrounded by Serbia to the north, Bulgaria to the east, Greece to the south, and Albania to the west, all of which are some of the most affordable countries to live in the world. So you have easy access to go anywhere as you please. The capital has a population of roughly 500,000. A nation that is filled with history and diverse landscapes, mountains, canyons, some of the famous lakes, as you know, which is a UNESCO heritage site. But the cost of living is relatively low. So if you've never been to this part of Europe before, I highly recommend that you do so.
It's hard to find another cheap country to live in Europe with such incredible natural beauty and lots of opportunity. The capital city of Hungary is Budapest, one of the cheapest cities in Europe where you can live on a budget. It is gradually becoming a hotspot for international travellers and expats who want to work online. The country boasts a beautiful river, lakes, green valleys, rich history, and a vibrant culture. Monthly rent for a furnished accommodation in a normal area is around €400. The food prices can be pretty cheap, but I guess even more so if you cook yourself. You can save a lot of money that way in all the countries listed above. You shouldn't expect an exotic lifestyle in Hungary, but with a monthly expenditure of €1,000, you can expect a happy life with all the basic amenities.
Number 7. Slovakia. A safe and cheap European country to live that has started to attract even more expats and international travellers in recent years. So again, you don't need to break the bank while living and working here, especially if you come from abroad. Slovakia is not as cheap as Bulgaria or Hungary, but it offers better values in terms of standards of living, healthcare, and education. Here you can eat well and visit plenty of tourist attractions at a fraction of the cost, because you know that attractions do cost a lot of money. Now, Slovakia is an amazing country with tons of hiking trails, national parks, castles, museums, and of course, UNESCO protected heritage sites. So with roughly 900 to 1100 euros per month, you'll be able to cover all your basic costs and have a great time in Slovakia. Number 8. Latvia. Latvia is a beautiful and cheap spot for the retirees. To live out their golden years, everything is affordable here, especially when you consider housing, healthcare, or groceries. There's also a lot of interesting places to explore and different activities to try. I decided to compare Riga with Prague, and I found out that it's much more cheaper to buy groceries and rent accommodation in Riga than it is in Prague. But in fact, purchasing power in Prague is 35% higher than in Riga. Restaurant prices are extremely lower in Prague versus Riga. So if you are a tourist visiting this country, I would say that it's perfectly affordable to rent accommodation and buy groceries instead of eating out all the time. That is where you save a ton of money. Number 9. Belarus. Belarus will always feature among the cheapest countries to live in Europe. I remember my time visiting Minsk, and let me tell you, it was super cheap and one of the cleanest cities that I've ever been to. Consider the natural beauty, the very friendly people, the cheap groceries and restaurants to eat out in. It's no wonder it's on the list. So it's a very low cost of living, and that is one of the biggest draws for many expats who visit or who want to move to Belarus. Please consider the wintry conditions that will determine your choice. Okay. Number 10. Serbia. This country has steadily become known as a digital nomad hotspot in Europe, thanks to its relatively lax visa requirements, which could always change. Its two largest cities boast cafe cultures and nightlife that rival some of the most famous destinations on the planet. The seasons are distinct, with hot summers and cold winters. For one person living in a studio or one-bedroom apartment, you can get by as low as 600 to 650 euros a month. Now that can be expensive to some, but especially in Belgrade, I actually know locals who live on less than half of that. How they do that, I have no idea. But to live comfortably as an expat, ideally you'd want to have between 750 to 850 euros a month. Any more than that, and you will really be enjoying yourself. And other countries where you might really enjoy traveling on a budget is to visit the countries of Poland, Czech Republic and Bosnia and Herzegovina, if you avoid the main cities. That's it from me. As always, be good, be kind and be careful. Peace.